From Lamp and Light Video Message, WUOC 922, we are living in moral decayed world. People are losing the feeling of guilt and shame these days. The common action for people who lost the feeling of guilt and shame is they won't admit their wrongdoing and keeps denying. We are living in free world. People are born equal with freedom, but it doesn't mean that we can do anything we want. Laws and orders are the boundary to hold our society together. It prevents dishonest, crime, violence, steal, hate and chaos. Action brings consequence is one of golden rule. The consequence of doing bad, it not only will deliver to us the pain and suffering, but also to others. The feeling of guilt and shame is the alarming system for our behavior. Without this system, we will go to wicked way without our notice. To maintain the harmonious and peaceful society are everybody's responsibility. If we are numb about guilt and shame, it is the same as no bottom line for morality. We are irresponsible for our actions. The difference between guilt and shame is the difference of I did something bad and I am bad. Guilt addresses an external action while shame attacks the internal temperament. Guilt is the feeling of doing something wrong, shame is the feeling of being something wrong happened. People said, guilt is a wasted emotion, so it is time to let go of guilt. It all depends on how to handle the feeling of guilt to make our life differently. Guilt can either hold us back from growing or it can show us what we need to improve in our life. We need to have the feeling of guilt, so we know that we do something wrong. Once we feel guilty about wrong things we do, don't just stay there, we need to do some correction action. Once we corrected our wrongdoing, then we can feel good about it, and stay out the emotion of guilt. When we don't feel guilt and shame, it all begins with proud and arrogant, we just focus on our own benefits without concerning others. Selfish will let us lost the heart of loving others, and use hate to against people who have different views from us. People tendency to keep pride in their heart, and afraid to lose face in front of others, so often we don't want to admit our wrongdoing. We have to know that we are not perfect, we do wrong things all the time, and it is not a shame to admit we doing something wrong. Imagine that one country from top government official to bottom level civilian, if people all lie to the point without feeling guilt and shame, nobody will correct these problems, then dishonesty will become new normal. What they say is one thing, and what they do is another thing. They not only deceived others, but also deceived themselves. We are living in a wicked world. If without wake up our conscience and stand on the foundation of truth of life, we don't know what is true or false, good or bad. Human will behave like other animal, even worse, they will lost humanity and become beast. Finally they have harmful heart to hurt others, they become devil. They promote fight among people. One thing which didn't exist in their heart is love. Love can release our guilt and heals our shame, it can cover over a multitude of sins. The wisdom book of Bible have recorded 7 bad things, it come from human sinful nature. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil, a false witness who pours out lies and a person who stirs up conflict in the community. If we had done these things, we should feel guilt and shame. We should feel guilt and shame and admit we had made mistakes. It is the beginning step to confess and repent. Our mistakes do not define us a bad person. We all make mistakes, so there is no shame in failing or lost face. The only shame is we didn't give our best shot to do good deeds. It is okay we have feeling of guilt and shame when we have wrongdoing, but it is not okay to stay there to licking the wound. On the contrary, rise up and learn the lesson to improve ourselves. We have to understand the truth of life, and follow the natural laws to live in this physical world, and follow the moral laws to equip us to be good people, and follow the right conscience to boost our spiritual strength to walk on the right path.